it.
We did.
I have a laptop.
Congratulations. So do I.
Move it and not trip the camera up. Hello.
Welcome to another dual rule stream. And yes, hope you're all well. Apparently Moon's 5-year-old is not well. I am so sorry.
Oh no.
Upset tummy kind of sick.
No.
I see.
I'm sorry. Was it the jar of mold?
The
The friend?
pet.
I'm not even sure that was the right kid, but
Me neither. But yes, I am sorry that that she's not feeling good, but I hope it gets better and that yeah. Hello. Anyway, it's okay to be distracted. I am not the least bit distracted, but it's okay that you are.
we can't all be us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hello, Havy.
Hello, AD. We have Havy and we have Violence who joins us sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Welcome, both of you and everyone else who may be here or joshing after the fact.
Yes.
Watching after the fact, joining after later. Hi.
Hello. Okay, so I guess maybe we should just jump straight into what we're doing.
Yes.
What we are doing is updating. Well, we updated you already in videos on Wednesday, and I hope you all watched those. They are not linked below, but they could have been.
Yeah.
You can find them on our channels if you don't know what they are. And we are going to do some checking in.
Yes.
And talking about things that we both mentioned in our update videos, and potentially other things that shows up as things we might want to talk about.
Yes.
You okay?
Yes. I have had some computer issues and had to reboot my computer, which is fine except for the fact that I now imported my bookmarks into Chrome, and that means that I apparently have lost the ones I had on here before because they're gone.
Ones you had before?
Yeah, I had bookmarks on the desktop, and they're gone.
I see.
One of them I had was the link to the dual rule drive thing. It's fine. I'm gonna fix that, but
yes,
it was weird.
I am sorry.
It's okay.
Yes. So, do we have anything to add to our videos? To what we've said?
Kind of, maybe. I have a question that I want to run past for input related to something I did in my video.
In your video?
Yes. Related to something I talked about in that video.
Oh. Related to something you did in the video.
Yes, I made a weird face at one point, and yeah, no.
Do you want to start with that, or do you want to write that down in our document?
I can put it in the documents.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I am prepared. I just forgot that maybe I should have the document up.
Yes.
That I've been writing in.
I apparently can't really spell, so I mean it's a made-up name, but I changed it.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions, by the way? That's also a thing I want to ask. Like, is there anything about what we said in the last stream or in the videos, or what we haven't been saying that
you should have said
you want to ask us about? Hello, Violet, and hello, CB. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome. We talked about you a minute ago, Violet.
Yes.
Because Markus now renamed AV Havy.
Yes.
And then you have been renamed Violence, as we all know. So, yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yes. Yes.
Well, welcome either way. Do you guys have anything that you want to ask, get clarified, suggest that we talked about in previous streams or in our videos on Wednesday? Otherwise, we
specifically about the dual rule project.
Specifically, mostly about that. Yes.
Just in case you were wondering about something else, we can take that at the end of the stream, maybe, if we have time.
Yes. But yeah, otherwise we're going to jump into the little list that we have prepared, which is fairly short, but I know us.
Yes, I know us too.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, no one seems to be saying anything. Again,
Or saying something very, very long.
Yes, that is true.
Moon has comments.
Moon has comments.
Yes, they just haven't shown up in StreamYard yet.
I see.
I want to know what you each think of the other's questions, like whether bits connect between the two. Wayhouses, the old man, or whether the outcasts are shapeshifters.
Do we have thoughts on that?
Let's put it in the documents and go through it. Are you putting it in? Am I putting it in?
I don't know. Why is it not showing up on StreamYard?
I don't know.
That's
because now it should have. It's fine. I can be in the YouTube window. That's fine.
Yeah, but I want to see the things too.
No.
So if you'll excuse me, I'm just gonna find this stream on YouTube so I can see the comments on there, because apparently they're not showing up on StreamYard, which I...
No, none of Moon's comments except the first one have shown up.
Nothing since CB said hello has shown up there, so that's not great. New chat window, live chat, and there we have it. Okay, so if that doesn't work itself out on StreamYard, I'm not going to be able to put anyone's comments on the screen, but we will just have to live without that.
Yeah.
I've
I've moved those questions over into the document now.
Yeah. Yes, you are accidentally super sneaky today, apparently.
Yes, it's really weird because CB's answer to Moon with the little wavy emoji also hasn't shown up.
I think the thing is, there was an update to StreamYard today or the other day.
Oh yeah, I got that email too.
So I think maybe there's a little bit of a bug potentially.
Yeah. Well, if we don't seem to be connecting, then yell at us and see if that works.
We don't seem to be connecting?
If I'm answering.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Anyway, yes.
Yes. Well, I will just put this up here.
Yes.
I'm thinking I'm going to do it like this. Is that maybe a little bit more visible that way?
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then we can just...
Go from the top.
Yeah. In which case we are starting with the strangers that Nia meets.
Yes. Which are also down there somewhere. But yes.
Down where? Somewhere?
The thing I just wrote.
Yes.
Yes.
Among that, who are they? And among that are those two shapeshifters.
Were there two people?
There were two people. I'm gonna...
Oh, was the old man and the outcast not the same?
Yes.
It was an old man.
I'm gonna
yeah.
run through the scenes that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Just gonna get to there. That was apparently a while ago. I wrote a lot, like I said in the video, so I have some scrolling to do.
Now comments showed up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, what happens is basically it's the morning after Niam's air trial, and he wakes up and is hearing some weird shrieks that he doesn't understand what it is. He's wondering if someone's being tortured, and it turns out to be a young woman or girl with a bunch of pigs out herding her pigs in the forest.
Herding, not hurting.
Not hurting, herding.
Yes.
And it's a little bit of, basically he's in her or their territory, and there's a bit of like, oh no, are these bandits? Am I gonna be attacked now?
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically what they're both thinking at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But then she realizes that, okay, he's not in any kind of danger. He's just wandered in here, or he is not a kind of danger. He might be in some kind of danger. And she basically like, okay, let me help you out. Come with me. And we outcasts got to stick together, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to a clearing where there is a little hut, house-ish, a structure with 4 walls and a roof. And so she brings him there, and in there is an older man that they all call Uncle. I don't know, he doesn't have a name. It's basically, person, welcome, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Let's help you out. And basically assuring him that this is a safe place. The guards aren't gonna get you here. And then the girl calls out to 2 other people, a man and a woman, who are called Dam and Rin, and basically tells them, can you go out and make sure that no guards have followed this person here? And they do, and there's a bit of talking, and there's a bit of stuff, and then when Dam and Rin come back, they basically say that, the guards are not headed here, but they're not normal guards, they're royal guards, which makes Uncle scared and angry and threatening. And when he gets threatening, Niam gets scared, and the air powers comes up to defend him, and everyone is confused except Uncle, who's like, oh, well, okay then. Here, have some food, basically.
Yeah.
And like, you go get him some apples, go get him some clothes, go pack a bag for him. Very, very helpful and nice all of a sudden. And then he has a section of basically just rambling up good advice, like don't trust the way houses, don't trust the priests, go to a small farm if you need help, be careful in Inferno Valley. And the one I read up in my video, don't forget that a lot of truth can be found in fairy tales, and the land tells you more about itself than any map will. And then sends him on his way, and Niam doesn't have time to ask what the hell's going on. So that is basically what happens. And
you were wondering if I should adapt that to Lid instead.
Some of it, at least. I don't know. And like Moon says, I also think that Uncle knows that it's possible for there to be non-royal heirs.
Yeah.
I had a vague thought of like, did he used to be a priest? Did he know these things and then for some reason left or was thrown out? And because again, he is very, very do not ever trust the priest. Priests are evil and so I had that vague thought. Above all, he knows something that no one else seems to know.
Defrocked priest.
Yes. Yeah, I think that would make sense.
I think that would make sense. My follow-up concern to this is if the church is so involved with how the country is ruled and they know about the heirs and, all that, are you able to be defrocked? Are you able to be kicked out? Or is that a death sentence? I think it's technically a death sentence, but he managed to get away.
Yeah. And that's why he's so scared of the royal guards, because if the royal guards find a defrocked or, a priest, ex-priest, whatever, if they find him, they will kill him because someone who knows all the things that the priests know, but is not under the priests, the rest of the church's
power.
thumb,
Yeah.
that's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Avi says, or Uncle just knows he's on the quest and disliked by the current rulers, which probably means he's a good guy. It makes sense. He was a former priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's also like he will see air powers being used.
Yeah.
Will he know that Niam is not a royal descendant?
The thing is, what he let's see. Basically, he's just used the magic, and he's realized that, oh, this is magic. Can't be, Uncle whispers, seemingly having come to the same conclusion. What? Dom or Rin asks. He doesn't know which one is which yet. Magic, Uncle responds. Finding his staff, he manages to get back on his feet. But you're not of the ruler, are you, boy? So, like, he suspects, and I don't know if maybe Niam just, because we don't know what the ruler looks like.
No.
We don't really know what Niam looks like either.
No.
But he makes that assumption that no, you're not related to the ruler. Yeah. And the thing is, for him to know all of these things, because I do think that the whole thing with the fairy tales and the land tells you more about itself than a map will, hints at Shardmere.
Mm-hmm.
And so he knows that, then he has to know that there should be two as well.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How
he knows that, we don't know, but we don't need to know that right now.
Not right now,
No.
but I would like to, because again, like I said, this is a pretty big thing, and I feel like it should be used later.
Yeah.
So later, maybe we need to know at least a bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe not exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying we can't figure it out now, but just like, for now, yes, it works.
Yeah.
That can be.
Yeah.
That can be what it is.
Yeah.
Also, I read Moon's comment, and I cannot read.
Which one?
The bottom one, like it escaped that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read escaped ex-pirate priest.
Yes.
And
He went from pirate to priest and then just
escaped.
Yeah. Or from priest to pirate. I don't know.
No. Well.
Is that how we met the shapeshifters?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, sorry.
No.
Because I am currently writing a bit between Lid's Inferno Valley and her air trial.
Mm-hmm.
And Lid meets people who could be these people, possibly. Which is what I want to talk about my video. And yeah. Because we also I was talking that one about how Lid has had zero good interactions with humans. And why would she do this thing? They're building the mill if she has no connection to them. And so I'm twisting and turning and hoping to have things happen there. I can go into more detail if you want to, but I realized you started making notes. Maybe we should finish those first.
Maybe you should, if you add that bit later in the list.
Even though sort of related to this part.
Yes, just so we remember that yeah. Because let's see, Avi asked if all of this group are shapeshifters. I don't know if all of them are. If Uncle used to be a priest, then he's probably not a shapeshifter.
No, that's probably pretty certain.
And the girl, I mean, obviously this can be changed, but the girl introduces herself as Jisin, so not a 3-letter name.
No.
But a gay. She might be gay. I don't know.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was gonna say again, and I ended up saying a gay. That's where that came from. Again, I don't know if Dam and Rin are shapeshifters. They just ended up having 3-letter names, which could be nicknames as well as shapeshifter names.
Yeah, because that's a situation Lid is in. someone asks her name and she said Lid because she has not yet learned how to lie and figure out how to have a fake name. And she says Lid, and they say, "Oh, that's a pretty nickname. What's it short for?" So like that's a common thing. You can have a 3-letter a 3-letter name without being a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
But I mean, we also talked about, since I wrote in my first draft that there are shapeshifters around, Lid encounters some, or the voices of some in Norport.
Yeah.
I would like for them to play a slightly larger part. They don't need to be recurring characters.
No.
But these people could be shapeshifters.
Yeah.
And down the line, they could be brought up like twice. And that's more inclusion than we had in the first draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with them being shapeshifters is that in a way it makes sense because they're outcasts of some sort. Shapeshifters would be, that makes sense. I don't want there to be too many shapeshifters on the mainland.
No.
Because we did say that they were quite rare there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. That's okay. But yeah, I also don't need to know right here and now if they are shapeshifters.
No, I mean, so far apart from maybe these guys, Liam has not crossed paths with any shapeshifters. Lid also hasn't, and the first and kind of only person she actually meets in the first draft who is a shapeshifter is Near, who's an archivist in Norport.
Yeah. But also the voices in Norport.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, the fact that they just show up there, to me, makes it seem like they're... I don't know. To me, that is potentially an implication that there are many shapeshifters there because they happen to be within earshot or thought shot of her right then and there.
And that's bad. That's good. That means that these two shouldn't be shapeshifters.
I don't know.
Okay.
But maybe we can leave it unclear for now whether they are shapeshifters and see if and when they return later what they are.
Yeah.
Who they are, why they are.
Yeah. And also, I mean, once we have the whole draft of the whole book, are there 3 shapeshifters apart from Lid's family and Tev's family, or are there 27?
Yeah.
That makes a difference too.
Yeah.
Because I do, one last comment on that though, I do think we said in a previous stream that since the archivists hold the truth and stuff like that, they are also taking care of some shapeshifters in Norport.
Yeah.
Who have hidden their shapeshifter status, but are still shapeshifters.
Yes.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Moon asks, so if you want some of that to happen to Lid, what bits do you need to keep for Liam to keep the plot relatively intact? In this section?
And that's the thing, because you've been saying that Lid hasn't had any good contacts with humans.
Until now.
Yeah. Neither has Liam.
No.
These are the first helpful people he meets.
Yeah.
So I don't want to remove them entirely from him.
Where is this? The air trial is his first trial, right?
Yes.
So this is early.
Yes.
Yeah. If we want to have that connection, they could still be the people that Lid meets after her Inferno Valley, which is quite late in hers instead. So we don't have to move them. It could be that he meets them and then she meets them or some of them, and that's it. And then we have another bridge between them. But you get to keep what you've written.
maybe,
Mm.
but like the location wise doesn't really work.
Or maybe they just follow the wind. No, that's true. That's true.
Because Neum right now is somewhere around here.
Yeah, and she's very close to the upper purple one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, it doesn't quite work.
I mean, it could be completely different people. He could meet these people, two of whom might be shapeshifters. One of them is an ex-priest, and they give him some advice and send him on his way. And she could meet completely different people who could also be nice people. Maybe there are more than 4 nice people on the mainland.
What?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the question is, yeah, basically what Moon is asking, what would we move? What would we give to Lid, and what would we keep for Neum?
Mm. To which the answer is we don't need to give any of it to Lid. It would be nice if Lid got some of that information about the maybe not the fairy tale bit, because that feels very Neum oriented, but the
map bit doesn't.
Sure, but like, don't trust the priest and don't stay in way houses, and because she doesn't know way houses. She's in one now, or has just been, but like all this is new to her. Although if she is told to not trust priests, I have to change a thing upcoming, and if she's told to not stay in way houses, I have to change something I've just written.
I mean, I'm wondering, does she trust priests?
I mean, probably not.
No.
She has one interaction in the first draft in Norport where she goes to a church, and I could change that. She basically just went to be like, well, I lost everything. Maybe I've heard that they're nice, they can give me a bite to eat. And then she sold out from doing that, but she doesn't know that at the time.
No, because I'm thinking, like, from the perspective of she is a shapeshifter. Yes. She grew up on the archipelago, and what little she knows about the mainland is things that her human mom has told her.
Yeah.
She, like, the shapeshifters know that priests are bad. They know that the gods are keeping them prisoner here.
Yes.
They would not trust the priests, I feel like.
No.
That would be a very strange thing for them to do.
Yeah.
She might need the advice, don't stay at way houses, because that might be relatively new, that like her human mom might not have known that the priests are so involved in those.
Mm. Maybe they weren't a thing. Well, they were a thing, but
she
was a royal. She didn't travel on her own. She maybe didn't.
Yeah, we said that it was fairly new that the priests got involved in the way houses.
Yeah.
So she might need that bit of advice, but I do think like the important advice here. Let's see. Because, okay, what Uncle says is don't trust the way houses, which potentially both Neum and Lid needs to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Don't trust the priests, which Neum needs to hear.
Mm-hmm.
If you need any help, you go to the smallest farm you can find. That's not important as such.
No. And neither one of them really has much choice if they're in need of help.
No.
Mm?
I heard that to tell you to be careful in Inferno Valley. Don't underestimate the plants. I mean, I the thing is, the information that I'm thinking will be relevant to the larger picture is the whole thing of fairy tales and maps.
Yeah.
Because those are hints that looking for like information about Shardmere can be found in fairy tales.
Yeah.
And information of where Shardmere is on the land and not on any maps.
Yeah.
The problem, I think, is that what we've said so far is that Niam is the one who's going to be looking at fairy tales
And flying.
and flying.
Yeah.
So is it? Yeah.
I mean,
We keep giving too much information to Niam and not enough to Lid.
Yeah, and this is the thing we've talked about too before, that Lid needs to have some of the puzzle pieces.
Oh.
But to be fair to Lid, she can also fly.
Yes.
So she could, even if she doesn't understand, if she heard that line, even if she doesn't understand what they mean, eventually we could have her flying and spotting something strange from the air.
Yes.
But also she doesn't have a map to compare it to, unless she has one then, and she doesn't know what to look for.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Because I don't want Niam to have all the information.
No.
But, yeah.
I mean, again, I think part of the problem is that we don't know. We know what the solution is, but we don't actually know what the puzzle is. Like, we know they need to get to Shardmere and need to figure out that whole thing. But we don't know how.
No.
And
You mean that they need to go to the place and find the key and unlock the door and open the book and like complete everything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If Lid doesn't know about warehouses, then she might not be actively planning on staying with them and hence not really do it anyways. Niam, on the other hand, knowing about warehouses might have planned on staying at one each night. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he needs the warning about warehouses potentially more than she does.
Yeah. And I've just had her stay in one.
Yeah.
But if she manages to stay incognito, like, they're not going to do anything to her, I feel like.
No, I mean, I think she is safer in warehouses in a way because the ruler, they just know about Niam. They don't know about Lid yet.
Yeah.
So they are looking for a man looking like him, an archivist who can see in the dark because they know about that.
Mm.
So he's in more danger there.
Yeah.
Is the time when Niam researches the fairy tales before he connects with Lid.
Yeah.
If it can be moved to after he meets up with Lid, then she could have heard that about fairy tales, and Niam could know the archivist who loves fairy tales, and the two things connect. Yeah. Yeah, because right now it's before. It's one of the. It's just to show this again.
Sorry, I got so tired.
I'm sorry.
I had a really big lunch.
Yeah. Do you need some chocolate balls?
Yeah, but I don't want.
Right now, where things happen is that Niam leaves the capital, has his air trial, meets the outcasts, goes here, which is where he meets Annery, who is the fairy tale person. And then he goes into Inferno Valley and does that whole thing, and then him and Lid meet up here much later. But technically that doesn't have to happen in that order. Annery could just as well live up here. And or because let's see, I have written the thing with Annery now, which changed a little bit, and it did not change for the better. So there's that. He goes there and he asks about magic specifically.
Are we supposed to see your cursor?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
He asks specifically about magic and not so much really about fairy tales as such.
And he asks Annery about this.
Yes.
Okay.
And like magic outside of the royal family, and she's basically like, yeah, well, I mean, shapeshifters immediately come to mind. Although she also says that if I direct you to Norport if you want to know more about them, so that's a thing. And then she says there is a story of the person who tried to bring down the ruler 150, 200 years ago with the lost shard and that whole thing.
Mm.
And basically tells him that story.
Mm-hmm.
And
so he's then told of Shardmare, but not play Shardmare.
I mean, he's told about that person, and the lost shard is mentioned as some sort of weapon that was forged in order to kill gods, apparently.
Okay.
According to the legends. And then Annery is like, why are you really here? Because you could have asked me this in a letter. What's going on? And he refuses to tell her, which offends her.
Yeah. And
eventually she gives him a book. She says, go to Norport, because they have the largest unregulated archive of maps. And you like maps, sort of. And gives him a book that is called, I really like the title of this book. What she says is there aren't a lot of books that mention both magic and maps, but this one includes a bit of history on El Rey, which is what I named the character, Lost Shard character, as well. So it might help you. And the title of the book is The Lies of the Land, which I think is really clever. And I don't know what's in it yet because he hasn't opened it.
Well, it'll be a surprise to both of you.
Yes. So technically there hasn't been a lot about fairy tales as such. It's just been about that.
Yeah.
About the
Shardmare.
Yeah. Except not about Shardmare at all. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Moon. I
didn't get it, so.
The Lie of the Land. That's the Lie of the Land.
Lay of the Land.
Yes, but the lies of the land.
Now yes.
It's punny.
Yeah, now I get it. I just had to confirm that it was what I thought it was. Yeah.
Yes.
I just need some water.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here's this from Annery, but just as a story, he doesn't know there's any truth to it until here's the thing about fairy tales from Lid later. Yeah, I mean that could be. And since he has the book, they could analyze the fairy tale part of that book and figure it out somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can also divide it into Neum learns a lot of information about the past, while it learns more information of the present, or something like that. Both kinds of information will be useful for overthrowing the ruler. Might fit with their respective lines of questions. Information will be relevant at different times, though. Yeah.
Because what I feel.
First of all, Moon likes your dress.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
It's very cute.
Thank you. Thank you. What I feel is Lid. I can't help but feel that Lid just keeps coming up short.
Yeah.
Because Neum already has knowledge of the present because because he's lived in it, the present life on the mainland.
Yeah.
He works in archive and so knows things about the past.
Yeah.
And will now learn things about a fairy tale that relates.
Yeah.
He has a lot of information.
Yeah.
And keeps gaining it. Lid is learning about. I mean, she gets the outsider's perspective, sure.
Yeah.
But she is like, oh, this is like. I have a scene where she learns about money. It's a great scene. I love it. But why don't you just trade? No, but like, if you don't have something that you can trade or that they want, you give them money instead. Why? And it's a whole big thing.
Yeah.
So like in a way, it's the like. There's a trope I forget the name of, but like, she's not a newborn. There's something like, it's her first time experiencing this. She's learning everything. She's, you know, and yes, she gets the outsider perspective, but she doesn't have the knowledge. And yes, over time, she develops sort of street smarts because she has no choice. But she starts with very little. She starts with being very trusting to people she knows, at least, and comfortable in her environment and all those things. And she's ripped from that, and that's a whole big learning experience. But I'm still wondering what she will bring to the table. And even if she is given the, don't believe fairy tales.
Do believe fairy tales.
Yeah, fine. Do believe in fairy tales. Okay, that's a weird comment for you to make at me at this moment, but sure. And then once she sees the fairy tale book, 3-4 weeks later, oh, by the way, you should trust those. That feels like a weird thing for her to. It feels small, and it feels like a weird thing for her to add. Yeah. And for her to be important in the, Yeah. And I know that she's the royal heir, royal descendant. And that is important, And she's a shapeshifter, but I can't help but feel that that it's still going to be Niam who has all the information. And it makes sense with what we've said, that he gets stuff from Annery, and he is told to not trust the priests, and he will be flying on Tev, which, higher up and bigger, and he knows how to read maps, and he can see a map and then see the ground from up above and be like, no, that doesn't match up. Why doesn't it match up? Where Lyd has looked at a map over Ted's shoulder 3 times and they're like, cool. Is that a tree? Sorry.
I agree. That is part of why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Because I also feel that Lyd doesn't bring enough to the
table.
Yeah. The question is, I will. Okay. Because as it seems right now, if everything stays the way it is, and it seems like Niam has most of the information to figure out Shardmere and figure out that, hey, there are 2 heirs, and we need to find Shardmere, and that whole thing.
Yeah.
The question is, okay, one question is, would that be more acceptable if after their trials, Lyd is the one to
champion?
He's the one who gets them to the last trial, and they figure out that thanks to his information.
Yeah.
But after that, Lyd is the one who takes over being useful, sort of.
Yeah.
And she takes the lead in bringing down the ruler and all of that stuff. Would that make up for it?
Or is it a little too late?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, because to give Lyd some credit, she is not useless.
No.
I know you don't think that, but she does know how to mend things. She is an inventor. She can, create and see a problem and fix it. Or see a solution for a problem.
Yeah.
She is the royal heir, which is worth something. That is my uncle on the throne.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there being a shapeshifter heir could help rally other shapeshifters and give them not power, but give them something worth fighting for. You know,
Girl worth fighting for.
sort of. No, but like, oh, well, finally, there's someone like us we can.
Yeah.
You know, that I feel is important, and stuff like there is still things to Lyd, but she doesn't. It doesn't feel like she is helping to solve the clue much. I know we talked about last stream or the stream before there was going to be the song or the rhyme or the thing, and she knew a different version, and that was going to help.
Yeah.
But it's not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because the thing is also that the things that you just mentioned, the list you made, that's not things that Lyd actually, like, yes, she's a shapeshifter, yes, she's the royal heir, but
she's not in control of it.
She doesn't do anything.
No.
And that's a thing that I think, yeah, we need to make sure that she's useful as a person.
Otherwise, we could just grab any old shapeshifter.
Yes, exactly.
Like Tev. Yes.
Yeah.
What if it turns out that it's actually Tev who woke up with powers? His power being that he is healable.
No.
Yeah. Let's go with the chat a little bit.
Yes. If she meets up with the shapeshifters, could that be part of the building a coalition thing where there will be an uprising of citizens to stand behind her?
I mean, I will say I really like the uprising idea.
Yeah.
I really like her leading a rebellion.
Yeah.
Having a Katniss moment. Katniss Everdeen, not Katniss the cat.
Yes.
I don't think she'll ever lead a rebellion. She's very tame. You know?
Yeah.
I really like that for her.
Yeah.
And I see her as a sort of unwilling rebel leader. I feel like Katniss. No, but like, it's not like I'm going to take over the throne. Follow me and I will pay your bills. That would be modern rebellion, would be I'll pay your bills.
Yes.
I don't see that, but more sort of like Near, for example, the archivist she meets, being like, okay, but this is good. This is what we need. Put Lyd on a stage, do a speech, and then like I don't like more like that. But still not her doing anything. It's her being used to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that, but in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
If she has the leadership abilities, maybe she doesn't know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that if no one's putting her and like being like, yes, we're gonna have you as a leader because you're a shapeshifter and we like that.
Mm-hmm.
But her rather having the personality or the
persuasion, the charm.
Yeah, like she has the leadership skills.
Mm-hmm.
She can get people to listen to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think Neon has that.
No. No offense, but no, he does not.
No. And that's then something that she brings to the table. And
True.
She can like discover that, hey, people listen to me, and hey, I can do good things if I lead people, and decide to, okay, I'm gonna lead this rebellion. I'm gonna make a difference.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But then that is something that she will learn along the way, because in the beginning on the mainland, she's very scared of humans.
Yes.
And humans are terrifying.
Yes.
But maybe also that's like when she finds more shapeshifters, she like if she meets Near and maybe a few others in reports. Okay.
Yes.
She calms down a bit. She feels a little safer. Or would you rather that she's like, hello, fellow humans.
I'm thinking that maybe it could be brought with the air trial instead.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think in a way that like it would be better if she didn't need other shapeshifters
Mm-hmm.
to bring out these sides of her.
So if her air trial is still building the mill, if she sort of draws up the blueprint for it and then instructs people on how to build it, not laying every brick herself.
Yes. And I was also thinking maybe if there is a conflict there, if I know this might go a little bit against what we've said before, but if there's a conflict among the people in this valley or wherever she is, and like we want the mill to be built there, we want it to be built there, we can't get along. If she can somehow bring them together and decide that, like, help them see that, okay, but this location is actually the best one, and if we just help each other out, like that sort of leadership ability to bring people together, if she can show that in her wind trial, for example, and realize that, hey, I made a difference here, that could be a first step towards realizing that, hey, I can bring people together and make things better for them.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's scroll a little bit.
Yes, there's been a few things in the chat. Let's see. I'm just going to run through the and then we'll, not answering every single comment because now there are a lot of them. If the information Lid has regarding the capital, etc., means Niam takes a back seat, then even though it's his home and she was never there before, she has information from her mother. Yeah. What other information could help solve the Shardmare thing? Yeah, I think we need a specific discussion about Shardmare and about how they figure that out and all that, because I feel like right now we don't know.
No.
So yes. Was a symbol or code or something linguistic on a map that only Lid recognizes because of her royal heritage? Maybe. This might be controversial, and I haven't read what you write, so I don't know how it actually reads, but from my purely outsider perspective, I feel like Lid has the most potential to rule. See, this is what we...
Well, I've already been conveying that, obviously.
Yes. Niam is knowledgeable and clever, but the people wouldn't follow in the same way. You see people following Lid. Yeah?
Okay.
Exactly. I'm glad you feel that way too, because I definitely feel that way.
Yeah.
Bitter Blue.
No.
The Graceling book. No, I haven't read that.
No.
So I see Lid playing a much bigger part in the actual confrontation with the ruler.
I mean, that's also a little bit true because she is the one who is taken to him. But that's also she's being taken to him and he was being kept out.
Yes, but while she's there, she's gonna be able to figure things out that he can't. So when the confrontation actually happens, she can instruct him. She can instruct Niam in what to do.
Yeah.
And Niam won't
protest.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, just point that out. Yeah.
And that's not to say that Niam won't be helpful in that kind of confrontation, but his contribution might be more strategic, for example. And then there is, let's see, Flid's mother used to doodle a little design. Lid never realized it meant anything, and then she sees it on a map and realizes it has to do with the royal family. Then she knows the site has something to do with royal history. That could be a thing. Yeah. It could be more complicated, a code, a language. I think just a simpler design would be simplest. Yeah. Input from the husband, who has leadership qualities. Sometimes what it takes to lead is to help people see where they have common ground or overlap of needs and priorities. Yeah. Air trial leadership. I think her seeing a problem, taking the initiative to solve it, and following through is a good early sign of leadership. I.e. not waiting for someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe it doesn't really matter so much that she hasn't had a lot of great interaction with humans before the air trial.
No.
Because what she sees is here are people who are having a problem. I see a solution to this problem. I'm going to help them see the solution to this problem.
And that also feels very shapeshiftery, because that's how they work. I mean, yes, they trade for what they need, or they barter. Barter for me is haggling. I don't think those are the same things.
No.
But like, I need someone to build me a house. Cool. I need a horse. Okay, swap. I'll build you a house and you give me a horse. Let's swap here. Yes. And that's like, I see the shapeshifters being quite forward. I see them, well, we've had this problem for hundreds of years. We haven't done anything about it. No, there was a big storm and now we don't have a whole neighborhood here. Let's rebuild the neighborhood. That's not even a question. It's not like, oh, can you pay for it? Yeah. It's a community effort. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's why does anyone need a horse when they can be a horse? Maybe they can't be a horse. They've never learned
I want to talk about that also. I'm putting that in the thing.
Yes. Talking about horses. Ponies.
Yes. I want to talk about that because it's important.
Ponies.
Yes, ponies are important.
Yeah. Okay, so
yes.
Then we have concluded that Lyd has leadership abilities.
Yes.
And that is a thing that she's going to be bringing to the table.
Yes. Which makes her more important, and she can also get to show that starting with her heir trial at least.
Yeah. Does that mean that Niam can keep these things? Because what I'm thinking there is that if he has gotten all this information, but maybe he hasn't put it together.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not problem solving enough to understand.
Yeah.
So it's when they talk about this and he says that, someone once said this, or like they're looking at a map and he's like, once someone said that the land tells me more about itself than a map. Aren't they stupid? And she's like, well, actually, that makes sense.
Have you been a bird? I've been a bird. Yeah.
Yeah. So from that perspective, maybe this works. It is all Niam instead of Lyd.
I have a thought there.
Yeah.
Which we could just sprinkle a little thing into mine and it could work. Because Lyd eventually flies out of Inferno Valley.
Yeah.
She leaves in her flighty form, her bird form. And with that, she has an overhead view of Inferno Valley. I'm thinking having a moment of her around that time, or early, way before she meets Niam.
Yeah.
Of her having seen something from above, and then the next time she sees it, it looks completely different. Inferno Valley burnt down, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't have a map at that point, but we can work with that. And basically being like, a map won't be updated.
Yeah.
Real life will.
Yeah.
This map was made 4 years ago. We have built a whole new city. It's not on there. The map is incorrect.
Yeah.
And that could be something that she just notices in passing and then brings to the table when they have the let's puzzle everything together discussion.
Yeah.
Which is just one discussion. Over a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see Niam's brain being a list of facts and Lyd being the one who makes connections.
Yeah. And that also works with her being
an inventor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She sees, I have this, I want this, I will put them together and make the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, Niam might be the one to have the information, but she has the ability to do something with that information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting deja vu. I feel like we've had this conversation before about them.
Maybe.
Well, in that case, we agree with our previous discussion.
Yes. I love that Lyd has a bird's eye view, the real map that Niam has never seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we said that Niam would notice things on Tev's back as a dragon, Tev being the dragon, not Niam. But maybe he isn't looking.
No.
Or he's like, I'm looking for a city, there is light over there. Steer.
Yeah.
There's a wheel on the dragon.
Huh.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or he's looking for he doesn't make the connection, but he's like, okay, I know I need to look for a large hill. Okay, over there is a large hill. Doesn't so much see the rest of it.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
no.
And that means that the whole interaction that he has had about the way houses and the priests and the fairy tales and the entire everything can stay.
Yeah.
And Uncle Jisin, did I say that right?
Maybe.
Dam and Rin also stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do we figure out now how they will be important later, or do we just say that yes, they will be important later, and then in a later stream they won't be important. Sorry.
Yeah. No. What?
Because they won't be important until the second half.
No.
Probably.
Exactly.
So.
For which we don't have a full outline.
No.
No. I had a thought. Pull up the map again. I also really need to pee. But they were where? Point to the map. Point on the map.
Where the outcasts?
Yeah, where he meets them.
Somewhere around here.
Yes. And I saw something, I think it was a comment that Moon made a while ago. I'm sorry if I'm giving the wrong person credit, but something about them helping with the uprising later on.
Mm-hmm.
That is an excellent place for Lid and Niam to run into them again.
Yeah.
On their way to the capital.
Yeah.
Or for Niam to re-run into them. That's how that's said. Once he and Lid have been separated.
Yeah.
So, don't move them. They live there now. Behind that little tree that we can't really see.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah. Also, just to clarify, there are trees on other parts of the map.
Yes.
Just Inferno Valley, right?
Yes.
They haven't torn down all of the trees except Inferno Valley because that needs fuel.
No.
Good.
Inferno Valley makes its own fuel.
Yes. It's cyclical like that.
Yes.
Yes. Move on to the second question. I need to go to the bathroom.
Cool.
Run.
You keep running. You just run. Well, I mean, the second question is Lid meeting people, same people as Nee and Sandy, and that is not my question, so
I'll be right back.
Yeah, we will wait with that question until Matilda is back. Yes, so anyone has a comment? Anyone has something to say while Matilda is gone? Yes. Do I have something to say? Am I just talking amongst myself and losing my... it's over there. This is very confusing because I have StreamYard right ahead of me, and then I have the screen that I'm showing on StreamYard over there, and I keep thinking that the cursor is on this screen instead of the other screen. So yeah, that's great. That's okay. You may deal with a sick kid. That is perfectly fine. Matilda is on a little bathroom break, and I was supposed to move on to the next question, but the next question is hers, so I can't. And I guess technically I could just move on to Niam's ground trial, which is my question, but that's not the next question. Those are not the instructions I was given. So yeah. Are your owls wearing little red hats? Are owls? Huh? What else? I am confused. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's confused. Is it? No? Oh, the mug. No, I think they're just, I think they're parrot owls. Because they're colorful. That's what I've been assuming, at least. Hello. I was confused. I was like, do I have owls somewhere behind me? Is it on my shirt? But I don't have owls on my shirt. I have a little Christmassy fox on my shirt because It's almost Christmas. Tomorrow is the first of Advent, which is when we want to have. Well, we wanted to have Christmas decorations up for a while, but we haven't because we have not had time. Yes, it's a very pretty mug. I like it. I have too many mugs because I find very pretty mugs, and then I keep buying them, and then I keep having them. Owls wearing hats would be nice too. That is true.
I heard owls and I heard colorful.
Yes.
Tell me more about these colorful owls.
They're right here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I thought we were talking about the book.
We were not. This is the season for Christmas fox, indeed. I have a Christmas fox on my shirt.
Oh, I thought you meant you were on the mug. I thought you had an extra mug on it.
I do not. Yes, most animals wearing hats would be cute. You need to send the link or image or something of the birds and sweaters to the Discord because they're not hats, but they're still adorable.
I'll put it there in 1 second. It's a link to a tweet. Copy link. Just general chat.
Yeah. No, sorry, we veered totally off topic like a class full of kids when the teacher stepped out of the room for a minute.
I really have that role in so many areas of my life, don't I?
Maybe. But yes, you told me to go to the next question.
That was mine.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, this bowl is not full of chocolate balls, but we have no smaller bowls. Also, it's not that much bigger than my face. It's just that size. Holding it here was a bit strange. Yes. No. To answer the first question, no. It's not the same people that Liam has met. So, no. Sandy, I need to talk about though, because Sandy was a young girl that Lyd met at a farm in the first draft, who gave her a map and who gave her a cloak and some stuff to eat, and had Lyd sleep in a chicken coop. And I removed that because it wasn't actually important. It didn't add anything. But Lyd has now, instead, in the second draft, had 2 run-ins with 2 different girls. And I'm like on the cusp of like, do I call them girls or do I call them women? Like, I'm not sure exactly what age they are. But she meets one person at the White House. She actually stays at, but she doesn't know if there's White House. A very kind person who, very friendly, and who then introduced herself as Sandy because I can't. The name was the name, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. It was her hand that Lyd stretched, by the way, instead of shook.
Cool.
But then she has a bigger interaction, longer, more important interaction with someone near to her air trial, who I now think lives in that area. And I'm like, that person should maybe have a name. And I could give them a different name, but A, should they both have names? B, who should be Sandy? Not the original Sandy, just Sandy 2.0.
Hello, my name is Sandy 2.0.
Yes.
I
can tell you more about the interactions if you so please. But yes.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter who has which name.
No. Good. Okay.
And I don't know if it really matters if they
if they have names.
Kinda.
If their parents gave them some. Sydney 1 and Sydney 2.
Yes.
I was inspired. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we might need a bit more. What is the question? And
it's not actually important. I just wrote up Sandy because I want to talk about her. At the White House, she's given food, she's given a place to sleep, and she's given a basket of supplies. Later down the road, she runs into someone who's being harassed by guards, who says that, well, the grain I'm carrying is my and my family's rations. We've been saving them up, and the guards think they have stolen it from the grain that they are producing for other people. And then they sort of drop her basket, I think, and like spill the grain on purpose and then walk off. And then Lid helps her gather most of it up and stuff.
Mhm.
And then they start talking, and then that person is like, well, you know what it's like. Well, you're not from here, but you know what guards are like. And it's like, yeah, sure. And then one thing leads to another. And then I think that this person is, like I said, involved with the air trial somehow. That it's her people, her neighborhood, her community that Lid will help build a mill.
Yeah.
So.
Well, from that, I agree with Avi. The first one maybe doesn't need a name because that's not a really big interaction. But the second one should, because they connect and she seems to play a bigger part in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at a point now where I'm just headlights writing. And it's like, oh, I'll give this person the name Sandy. And then 4 pages later, I wish I could name this person Sandy. I don't even have a connection with the name, so.
Well,
anyway, good. Answered. Great.
Yeah, cool. The next question.
Yes.
Also your question.
Yeah. So. Chockable.
Well, I'm sorry I made them so big. I will make them smaller next time.
So, throughout, Lid talks about her human form. You know, I shift back into my human form. I switch to my bird form from my human form, and so on. And I have a few questions about that. A, why does she call it a human form? Because she has no connection with humans. Really? 2, did we ever decide what form shapeshifters are born in? Because if you can be born as a foal, then surely that is your, I don't want to say natural form, but like your base form, your
original form.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, question 1, what form are they born in? Question 2, what do they call it when they are humanoid? Because why would they call it human?
Yeah.
Is thoughts.
Yeah.
Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
Welcome.
I like to name everyone and later take the name out if it isn't needed. That makes sense.
You don't deserve a name anymore. I'm gonna keep that one.
Yes. Yes. We talked about where shapeshifters come from. Are they a separate species or were they humans who were changed? We've talked about this. I don't quite remember.
I don't remember.
I believe what we said was that they were humans, like they evolved from humans, or them, yeah. They're related to humans.
Yeah. They got some magic, or because clearly it's not like, oh, the gods bless them, because the gods don't care about them.
Yeah.
But something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what was it, because we talked about this in relation to could humans and shapeshifters have children together?
Yes.
Which I also don't remember the answer to.
No. Probably in our 150 pages of notes somewhere.
Probably.
But yeah, I don't know. Because there are some arguments for both sides.
Yeah.
If being a shapeshifter is considered a mutation,
yeah,
then it depends on the kind of mutation. Because blue eyes is a form of mutation, but people with blue eyes can still have children, and they can have children with people who don't have blue eyes.
Yeah.
But then there are certain mutations that make you infertile. And I'm sure there's a possibility, at least we could make it up in our fantasy world, that once humans and shapeshifters divided into two biologically, not when they were cast out, but like you have different biology now, then they can't have children.
Yeah.
But shapeshifters among themselves and humans among themselves can.
I mean, there's also the option of like being able to have children, but not. Is it like
it's possible that the offspring would be infertile? Yeah.
Like ligers, for example.
Yes. That was a good example. Thank you for actually coming up with an example that wasn't blue lights. Yeah. Moon says they do have some contact with humans, so I would think they'd call the human form. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mm. If human form is just another non-basic, I like that, non-basic shape they shift into, like bird or horse form, then it makes sense to call it a human form. But if it's kind of the base shape, then either way works.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'd assume that human form is in the neutral state, unless we evolve from humans and are basically extra special humans. Yeah.
We said they could not reproduce.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's what we said too.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with it being called human form. I also see it working if you write, I shifted back to my natural form or something like that.
Yeah, because that's a bit what I'm thinking. Say they are all born into what we call human form, then that is their natural, base, neutral, original form.
Yeah.
And then they could call it natural form, but that makes it sound like the bird form is unnatural.
What if all species can be born as shapeshifters? There are bird-based shapeshifters that can shift into humans, but are base birds.
I like that.
Person-shaped bird, like, do you have any delicious worms?
Yes, just pecking at the ground for grain and seeds.
Imagine what a good singer they would be. Yeah.
Maybe there are origin stories, like all good singers were once birds and all weightlifters were once workhorses.
Yes.
Are we going off track?
A little bit. I'm thinking.
It doesn't matter what they call their human form. I can work that out.
Yeah.
Are they born human formed? Are they born just a shapeless blob? And then the first thing they see, the first shape that they're presented with, they're like, ah, yes, bird.
I mean, I feel like.
Yes, well.
Yes.
You feel like.
I feel like they seem to have human as a sort of baseline form, because they have buildings and tools and stuff that are made for their human forms.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So
they don't sleep in the stables, they sleep in a bed.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I would assume that they are probably born as humans.
Oh my god, Lynn, you're so stupid. Sorry.
Huh?
You're not stupid, Lynn is stupid. Sorry, continue. I'm going to say that later.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, they are probably born human. And then there's a follow-up question that we're not getting into because we don't need to. But from a world-building perspective, I'm starting to think like, okay, but then do they have to be human when they give birth?
Yeah.
Do they have to stay human while they're pregnant? How does that whole thing work? But we don't need to know that.
Not a problem right now. No. Lynn is stupid.
Okay. How? Why? What?
Well, first of all, in the first draft, she completely forgot that she had 5 powers.
Yes.
And she had lost her flint, and so she was just rubbing 2 sticks together, trying to make fire. Which I sort of corrected in the second draft, but she's also like a little bit out of her mind at that point, so I think it's fine that she hasn't quite remembered that she has them the day after. But in the now deleted scene with Sandy 1.0, Sandy's like, you can stay in the chicken coop over the day. I'll get you a blanket. I'll bring some food at nightfall, and it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So Lynn crawls into this chicken coop and sits there like a fully human person, And then she hears voices outside, and she's like, "Oh no, they're gonna find me. I hope they don't open the door." Why not just switch into your bird form? Finding a bird in a chicken coop isn't the weirdest thing. Even if like, oh, that's not a chicken. Sure, but it's a sparrow. It's not a fully fledged human person. I'm glad she has leadership abilities because she doesn't have brains. She just crawls in and then just sits there while the chicken are like picking around her. And she's like, "Yep, this is fine."
Okay, cool.
She has problems, and sometimes she creates them herself.
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 Yeah.
Yes, her many selves create problems.
Huh.
Anyway, that was just a side note of how stupid it is. Lid, not me, personally.
This is why they need each other.
I read that as we, and I was like, yes, hard agree. If you were not here, she would still be a human in a chicken coop.
Yes, definitely.
This is a good time. Oh, okay. This is what chickens are doing apparently. Little boxing gloves. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Let's go back to the list of questions.
Yes.
So, human form, yes, probably.
Yes.
Is the answer to why. Because.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
And now we've sort of already started answering that, actually.
Yeah.
So we can probably just delete that.
Bye-bye. Okay, Niam's growing trial.
Yes. What about it?
Yeah, no, like I said in my video, I made it so that it's just him trying to get out of a hole. But I also realized that it maybe should be the labyrinth because, again, the labyrinth is more ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's more having to deal with ground behaving weirdly and like figuring out stuff.
Moon has a question. I have an answer.
Is there a middle ground between just a hole and extensive labyrinth?
Tunnels.
I don't know if that's a middle ground. I think that's just the extension of the hole into an extensive labyrinth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, there is probably Sandquick. Yes. Cave network. Those can be very confusing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could definitely be a less of a labyrinth and more of a other.
Well, okay, sorry. Backing up a little bit.
Mhm.
What order does he do his in? Fire, ground, plant?
Ground fire plant.
Ground, fire, plant. Okay. What is his fire and what is the plant?
Yeah, that's another thing, because the fire is just, or seems to be just using his ground power to guide Lid out of the fire.
Mm. Or air powers also could work.
I mean, in a way, he's using both.
Oh. Mm.
Which doesn't honestly seem like that big of a deal.
Well, I have a comment, but what is his plant trial? Is that where he meets people?
Yes, he meets people and he has to ask them for help because Bodhi gets poisoned.
Right. Because Lid's ground trial is 2 sentences.
Are they life sentences?
No. She plant trial. Oh, the forest is changing. Oh, there is strange vines. Oh, they're attacking us. Oh, they're spiky. And then they get the hallucinogens. Is that what it's called? They start hallucinating.
Nice.
Yeah. And during all this, she picks a flower from one of the vines and puts it in a pocket, and then everything's on fire, and then Ted dies. And then she's guided out of the fire, and then she has gulped out all her water, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna die now. That's a good place as any. Puts her hand in her pocket, finds the flower, goes, oh, well, it would be ashamed if you died too. Digs a little hole, puts the thing in, puts the ground back, pours the last 2 drops of water. That's it. And then the next morning, it's started to grow.
Cool.
That's her entire ground trial. It's not very good. It's not very interesting. I also don't think she has the energy left to survive anything else after her fire trial. So there's that.
Yes.
My point being that his fire trial then maybe doesn't have to be big and extensive.
Maybe. Moon says that actually sounds good to me.
I mean, I like that it's the whole circle of I broke this, it burned, I fix it.
Yeah.
that circle that you have every Tuesday, you know?
Makes AV surprisingly emotional.
Fine!
Yes! See? I mean, we did say about Lid's Inferno Valley that it was going to be... hers is not so much a plant, fire, and ground trial. It's an Inferno Valley trial. So it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the fact that the earth part of it is small that's not necessarily bad.
Does he do all 3 in one day?
No.
She does? No. Okay, well then, fair enough. That's a big difference.
Yeah. He does the ground one, and then he did the fire and plant at the same... No, I don't remember if that was the same day or not. Yeah.
Cool.
But maybe a cave thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the fact that he can see in the dark, so it doesn't really, like, they can be completely closed caves. Not completely closed, maybe, but...
No, but it's less of a, oh no, I can't see in here, which is from the she has in her metal trial.
Yeah.
It's more I have 15 options.
Yeah. Also don't want to make it too much like his metal trial, however, with the keys and the picking the right. But I mean, part of the point here is that he needs to deal with rock and ground
and bugs.
Maybe, yes.
Make it worse. Make it worse.
Yeah, because I don't know. He has to deal with rock. And yes. Help me out here, please.
He has to deal with rock and ground and mud and clay. I'm trying to just name other things here. Dirt, sand. Sandstorm was suggested once, right?
Maybe, but I think that was the air trial.
Maybe it was. Just having to find his way out of the caves or more?
Yeah, because the thing is, when I had the labyrinth, it was basically, here's a labyrinth, I have to find my way out, and on the way out, here's a rock slide, here is
quicksand.
I don't know if I had quicksand, but maybe. And like, here is moving rocks that you have to climb over, and like, it was a bunch of obstacles made out of ground components.
Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah.
I think that makes it more interesting than just like, I'm going to crawl through a tunnel. I made it!
Yeah.
trying to remember. I read a book a while back that had some sort of trial with someone in a deep muddy trench with a giant centipede. That's terrifying. Don't do that. Yeah. Because I mean, you could do like a series. Because I'm thinking, what is his metal trial? He
makes a key. He
unlocks Tev.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then unlocks the doors. the keys and padlocks, keys and locks.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if like, because that's a multi one, and so is Lid's metal trial. I'm just wondering if like he could get to experience, air quotes here, all kinds of ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, a rock slide, a sandstorm, quicksand, boulders, gravel. No, but like overcome all kinds of ground.
Yeah.
And all kinds of is a lot of, it's a very, very big word.
Yes.
Very big word.
Chaosberry.
Chaosberry, yes. I don't know what it would, but like if it's timed or something, because during Lid's metal trial, the mountain is all trying to kill her.
Yes, but Niam's metal trial is also timed.
Yeah. Okay.
So we don't want this one to be too. But
unless it's sort of like, because it is magical.
Yeah.
If it like changes. No, but like he's in, I don't know, this clearing in the forest. There is a clearing in the forest, and he stands in the middle of it, and suddenly the ground turns to quicksand, and he has to get out of that. And then when he does, boulders come raining down from the nearby cliffside, and he dodges those. And then, but then it's not so much using the power against them. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna pull myself out. I'm gonna step left, step right, and get out of get out of the way of these boulders. Buried alive. That's a fun one.
Yeah. Let's see. The further into caves it gets, the tighter the corridors gets. Has to crawl, and there are no spiders, because there are no spiders in this world.
Oh.
But bugs and wets and roots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if he is a bit claustrophobic, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Buried alive. Knowing about types of rock and being able to see in the dark, you could mark his path with some kind of rock he knows is chalky and leaves marks.
Smart.
Yeah.
Like a Hansel and Gretel thing, which is a fairy tale thing. So
yes. Maybe he finds himself underground in a room with rocks, soils on all sides. If he has the knowledge, he can look at each and judge the one that'll be the easiest to dig through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like adding the sort of like analytical side to it.
Mm-hmm.
Either like Moon said about like this rock makes marks easily, or which of these walls is easier to dig through, or like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And then I mean he doesn't have a lot of knowledge in rocks or ground, I think, in general.
Not a deep knowledge.
No, but that could be a good thing for the story, because he could mess up. If we go with the one with AV, room with different walls. Oh, I'm going to go with this one. Oh no, that turned into mud, and now I lost both my boots. Okay. This one. Nope, that is solid rock. I will not get, like, he can make mistakes as long as he gets out in the end.
Yeah.
And I don't know, does he ever have moments of not being certain that he succeeded with a trial? Because Lid has that after the metal trial, I think, at least. And also after Inferno Valley. She's like, I don't know if I succeeded with that, because, I mean, I'm alive and it stopped happening to me. But did I mess up? Did I just burn down a forest? Sort of.
I mean, he sort of has that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, his air trial, he's not even aware that it's a trial when he does it. So, yeah. He has, after the fire trial, he's a bit like, did I cheat? Because this was too easy. So, yeah. After the plant trial, he was a bit like, but I asked for help. I'm not supposed to ask for help. Yeah. He has, during the metal trial, the absolute like, no, I have failed. I don't know what to do. We're gonna die now. So I mean, he has those.
Good.
But yeah. But okay, because I kind of like the being in caves or tunnels. So having to get out of a tunnel. Maybe using chalky rock to mark where he's been. Having to crawl through tight spaces. Dealing with mud, quicksand, book slides, and so on. I think that's good.
Yeah, I like that.
And
remind me again, you said he does ground fire plant.
Yeah.
So this is his first one.
Yeah.
And then it crawls out of this, possibly sleeps. Yeah, I have ground powers. Oh shit, fire.
Basically.
Great.
Yeah. Cool. So next one?
Yeah.
Sharpener. What about it?
What about it?
You wrote that.
Yes.
Yes.
Because yeah, right. No, yes, we talked about the what is the puzzle?
Yes. Yes.
So I should have just written puzzle, but Moraine is also hell to dig through. Cool.
Cool. And losing boots is a good thing to happen.
Bad for the adventure, good for the story.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will write that down.
I also want to say that like Lid loses everything at least once.
Well, Liam doesn't even bring anything.
But he's now losing the boots off his feet. That is, he has nothing but the shirt on his back and the boots on his feet, and now he doesn't even have those. Where is Bodhi when he's crawling?
Probably crawling ahead of him. Showing the way.
So he's cheating.
No.
Okay. Is that what? Sorry. No. Is that what glaciers leave behind? Like the remains of a landslide filled with rocks? I'm sorry I laughed because I read the first question. I thought you were still talking about boots.
Yes. You know a glacier has been here because there are boots.
Yep. Where do you think boots come from? Have you ever seen a boot been born?
Yes.
Oh. Ha. Oops. Anyway, the Shardmere puzzle.
Yes. Put together all the shards.
Yeah.
And then there are more of them because Mir.
You're so funny. You're so funny.
For the non-Swedish speaking audience, Mir in Swedish is more.
Yeah.
So these are more shards.
Without the E at the end, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they need to do is they need to figure out that there is/was a place where Shardmere happened that we're keep calling Shardmere, i.e. the previous capital.
Yes.
They need to learn that the current ruler's ancestors did something and what they did. And then they need to dive for Shardmere and find proof.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And there was also something with the archive in Norport having information and needing a password.
Yes. Just gonna see if I can find.
We're just singing dance break over here.
Cool.
Yes. Excuse me.
Go on.
That was hiccups.
Well, I am sorry.
Sorry.
Where might we have written things down?
In the big document, the long one.
A big long one.
Yeah.
Bong.
You're not a bell.
I can be anything I want to be.
Yes, but it's not even a full hour. It's 20 to 4.
So
They ring at that.
I can do whatever I want.
Okay. Okay, you've taken over the singing. That's great.
Yes.
Which one are you in? I'll search in the other one.
I'm in the one called Planning Streams.
Good. I'm in the one called Plot.
It's not there. I
No,
already looked
okay.
there. Water trial.
We must have used some of these words.
Which words?
Clue, password, shardmare.
I don't know if I think it might actually be here in the check-in streams.
Huh.
Magical question that
Yes.
unlocks information in Shardmare. No, but see above. The nursery rhyme thing.
Yes.
Um,
That's it. We probably talked about it for a good half an hour, but that's all we wrote.
I'm gonna find ruins, but what are they gonna do in Shardmare? Does anyone remember what they were gonna do in Shardmare? Because we did not remember what they were gonna do. Water trial. Running water. No running water. Water.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know where those notes might be that could be helpful to us right now. If anyone has any memory of what the water trial is actually going to be, what they're going to do, because they were going to dive down to Shardmare.
Yes.
And then what? Did we remove the regalia or not?
I don't know.
They were gonna find proof that there should be 2 rulers, but they need, like, if in order to tell the people about that, they need proof that they can bring, and not just, yeah, we were down at Shardmare and there were 2 thrones.
Sorry, one more time.
In order to convince the people that there needs to be 2 rulers, they need something they can bring with them. And
not the 2 thrones?
Not the 2 thrones, no.
Okay.
Let's see. They were gonna learn to trust each other. Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I
Huh?
found something.
Okay.
When did the archivists find out there were supposed to be 2 rulers? Did they never forget? The archivists at the time couldn't save the information. They couldn't save the information intact. So they hid it and made a bunch of clues to get all the information. Archivists later have puzzled out some of the clues, but not all. The last one needs to be puzzled out by a shapeshifter who also understands the magic, potentially with the help of someone who needs archives. We really set this up to be Lid and Liam and no one else.
Yep.
The last secret is hidden in a legend or nursery rhyme or something that has only survived among the shapeshifters. Or the royal family, but Lid knows it through Mana, or it has survived both among the shapeshifters and the royal family, but in different versions. And the differences between these versions provide the last clue. only the shapeshifters / royal family know the last verse of the song. Everyone else knows the rest. The nursery rhyme this song in the beginning among the shapeshifters, and or Lid and Tev hum it when they're feeling homesick, potentially connected to the fairy tale that Niamh knows or reads among Anari's collection. Magical question that unlocks the information. No, see above. So you got there. You were right.
Yes, but also this doesn't
No.
really. Yeah. Let's see. StreamYard is once again not showing all of the. Let's see. We're going to learn to trust each other. They're going to have a task where they had to work together. Because Lid could be a fish or something, but wouldn't have hands. Niamh would have to trust Lid's guidance, leadership, and use his hands and risk diving where he couldn't breathe or something. They were going to find proof of 2 thrones and 2 rulers. Were they going to race it? Or were they just going to find clues?
We talked about racing it.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very, very, very big task for them too.
Yeah.
However, at that point, they have all of their powers except the water power.
Yeah.
How hard is it to race a sunken city and glue it back to a cliffside, right?
Yes.
I've done it at least twice.
I think we'll remove the regalia, maybe? Maybe? I'm not sure.
I don't remember, but I really like the regalia. I really like that he made a new set and stuff like that.
Moon says that I do seem to remember they would bring the regalia.
Mm-hmm.
And AV says that when Shardmere sank, the second ruler stayed with the city to help the people evacuate. So he was there for a while, so the remaining ruler left a record or something, maybe. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, they they need to find some sort of proof that there should be 2 rulers.
Yes.
Find proof that there should be 2 rulers. Either bring it back or raise the city so anyone can see it.
And I do like that. I don't know how they would do it, but I like it.
They're raising the city. Yeah.
I mean, imagine just like, oh, I'm just going about my day, swoosh, splash, there's a city there. Where did that come from? I mean, no one can argue with that.
No. I mean, the thing is, they do have their ground powers. They have their air powers.
Yep.
They we could probably figure it out.
They have metal powers and they have fire powers. They can create like big rods and stick them in the mountain, stick them in the island, and push the. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like threading a needle, right?
Yes. Totally. Yes. And maybe a record left behind by the murdered ruler.
And there I'm kind of wondering, I mean, my envisioning of this is like bad ruler decided that, oh, that place should go down in smoke. All those words were correct. I'm gonna get my family out, my people, and then I'm gonna leave, and then it's gonna just plummet into the ocean and instantaneously drown. So if there is a record from the good ruler, it needs to be made before it sank. I don't think like, oh, we fell from a cliff. We probably have a good week until we drown. I'm just gonna,
I mean, the question with that, because the remaining ruler had all of these powers as well.
What if they didn't die?
What if they didn't die immediately? Like, I don't know. Imagine you're a ruler, you have all of these powers, your city sinks. If you have, like, maybe they could make like a air bubble,
Mm.
not for everyone in the city probably, but like for a bunch of people, and like helped them. So even after the city sank, this ruler could help them like get to land.
Mm. But then how has information never come out? Unless all those people were archivists.
Maybe they became archivists. Like, we need to preserve this knowledge.
Mm.
We are creating a new profession. We will call it archivism. And stuff.
Mm.
I mean, there were probably archivists before this, but like, yeah.
Mm.
Could have used this ground power to etch it into the stone. But he was alive then there isn't really any reason why he wouldn't have survived completely. That is a good point.
Mm.
Maybe he needs to have been murdered for it to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they did survive.
But just lived out the rest of his days hidden.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or, I mean, in a way, it has to be either that or they were murdered beforehand.
Mm.
And in a way, if I was the bad ruler in that situation, I would have murdered them beforehand because I would have known that, yeah, they could survive this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I just have a
What?
Now I just have an image of like the bad ruler like trapping the good ruler behind like, I don't know, in a box made of stone and then metal and then like all of these things that they wouldn't have time to get out of or be able to get out of before they suffocated. So somewhere in Shardmere right now there is a
box with a corpse.
Yeah.
Fun.
That sounds fun, doesn't it?
That's what they bring up the surface again. Screw the rest of the city. Here's a box with a corpse.
Yes.
And this is proof that there were two rulers.
Maybe if that corpse is wearing the regalia.
Ew.
Yes.
Cool. Cool.
Just a thought.
Just a thought, yeah.
That would be proof that, hey, this was a ruler.
And that the killing was intentional.
Yeah.
So it proves two important things at one time.
Yeah, and if it's a box like made of these different elements, then that's the proof that another ruler killed this ruler. Are we like, okay, yes.
Delightfully morbid.
Dead person in regalia halfway clawed out of a box that only a ruler could have created. Yeah.
And that could also make sense because then, regardless if they just all plummet, I mean, I don't know if people can swim in this, like, is swimming a common knowledge?
Yeah.
But even so, regardless if the whole city fell to the, like, into the ocean and underwater,
yeah.
People who...
Sorry, bye-bye, AV. Thank you for all your help.
Thank you.
Have fun with your friends.
Yes. People who were in the streets of Shardmere when it fell could still have floated and swam to the shore.
Yeah.
And then it makes sense that some people survived, but the ruler did not.
Yeah.
That's gross and morbid, but let's do it. It brings back the regalia. I'm happy.
Okay, cool. So they find a box made of stone, metal, and so on. Only a ruler could have created it. Inside is a corpse of someone wearing regalia. So this person is a ruler, clearly trapped there by another ruler.
Could you scroll a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. It also doesn't have to be made out of all the materials, because making a box out of fire seems difficult.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking it's made out of the solid materials.
Yeah. Question though.
Yeah.
Lid and Niam dive down in whatever shape they're in. They find this box. They either, because I mean the box needs to look important enough for them to investigate it as well.
Yeah.
But they either investigate it underwater or they bring it up to shore and investigate it there. Either way, eventually they're going to find this corpse.
Yeah.
Wearing the regalia, and then bring it into Norport or something. What would make people believe them then? They could have just stuck a random corpse in a box. You know?
Yes.
A sentence I never thought I would say, but here we are.
Yes.
Random corpse.
Yeah, I mean the question is if they have an audience.
True, if that's what started happening.
Yeah.
If they have an audience watching them dive, is that what I mean?
Yeah. If they I mean, granted, they could have created this down there in a way, but also
They're not that clever.
Yeah, but if there are a bunch of people actually on the shore, like maybe they have already, either themselves or through someone else, people have learned that, hey, there are two heirs. They're doing their water trial here tomorrow.
Let's build a bleacher and watch them.
Yes.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking also is if they / Lid already have an audience, and she and Tev find signs pointing towards something happened off this shore.
She and Niam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting, people out there on their ships or boats, and like there are no divers. No other people are going to join them underwater unless there are shapeshifters who are outing themselves, so to speak, and joining them.
Yeah.
But it could be like, no, but we have been convincing enough in our newfound knowledge that there is something under the water.
Yeah.
And that has brought people there.
Yeah.
Not the whole city, but enough. And then two things can happen simultaneously. They get an audience and people who can back them up, but also information spreads to the wrong people.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that the people come for Lid shortly after.
Yeah. And then, because I was also thinking, I don't know how far down into the water Shardmere is, but the water could also be clear enough that people can see from the surface.
Yeah.
What's going on down there.
And since the water is bad.
Yeah.
For some, I don't remember the argument for that, but the water is bad, treacherous, dangerous.
There are shapeshifters there.
There are shapeshifters,
They're gonna
obviously.
kill you.
Huh?
They're gonna kill you and drown you and
obviously, yes.
pirate you.
Yes. Then people just haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
But that makes me then question why there are ships, if there are boats.
I mean, fishermen's boats and stuff like that. You just don't fish around here because these are cursed waters.
Question.
Could
the water be really quite murky, but Lid and Niam are able to clear it?
I mean, potentially, yeah.
Because that, like, we've been fishing here for hundreds of years. We've never seen anything. Oh, look! Blah, 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 is the magical sound of clearing water.
Yes, clearly.
It's so funny.
Yes. Okay, so before the water trial, they have people have learned who they are and what they're doing. they therefore have an audience to their trial.
Mm.
People on shore and people in boats.
Mm. And if they have archivists present, people trust archivists.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe these waters are usually murky, but Neum and it clears them, and or you don't generally go here because these waters are cursed.
Mm.
Need an audience because otherwise people might say there is and corpse are fake.
Mm. Yeah. And the fact that waters are quote unquote cursed, you see rumor spread.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something about an archivist or archivists being present and
Archivists in the audience, which makes people more likely to believe this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry you're missing things, Moon, but I agree. I really like this.
Yeah. I mean, random corpse in the boxes.
It's all I've ever dreamed of. That has not been part of my nightmares the past 5 nights or whatever it is. Okay, so.
We still haven't solved the puzzle.
No, but when they have the puzzle,
Yes.
the end goal for the puzzle is that they realize that they have to work together and trust each other, and they need to dive here. They might not be entirely certain.
Moon. Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. Yeah. We just have the title for the book now.
Yes.
No. Yes, they need to dive here, and for that they gather an audience.
Yeah.
Which they get mostly thanks to Lyd.
Yeah.
And her abilities.
Yeah, I mean, she has probably at this point starting trying to rally people behind them because she's realized that we need people. Because that's another thing. Like Neum might just be thinking that, well, we can challenge the ruler, and if we win, then we're the rightful rulers. That's it. Whereas Lyd realizes that no, we need the people on our side, otherwise they will never let us rule anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, neither one of them are qualified to rule according to how the law of the land has been for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say, just as a side note, with Lyd learning, gaining, developing her leadership abilities.
Yeah.
That's also a big character growth.
Yes.
For her from the start.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And
straightens her ties with home as well, because it's like, no, but this is what we do back home.
Yeah.
This has always worked.
Yeah. She knows that they need the people on their side. Just defeating the ruler isn't enough.
Yeah. We need the votes. We need more votes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then what they need to know before this, what do they need to know
before
diving into this?
Haha. So funny.
Where to dive?
Yep. Do they need to know that there were two rulers, or can everything they know be, oh, there used to be a city here?
I mean, I think they need to maybe not know that there used to be two rulers, but they need to, like, at the very least, they are going to be questioning, why are there two of us?
Yeah. And like if they're like, well, maybe there have been two before, and then they dive and find this guy, it adds validity to the fact that they are two.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing though. If they are not, the people are not sure that there have been two rulers ever before, the archivists may have some records, but this might be a very controversial topic. Just diving down and finding a corpse in regalia in a box could also be an argument for maybe the current ruler isn't the rightful ruler. Maybe there's only ever been one ruler, and that person drowned in this box or suffocated in this box, and now someone unworthy, quote unquote, is on the throne. I can see that argument being made unless there's proof that there were two of them.
I mean, wasn't the proof sort of
the box?
Yeah. I mean, granted that could just be the heir who had already gone through the quest and had all of these powers decided to get rid of their parent or whatever.
I had a really stupid thought.
No,
like I don't know, it's a little bit funny, but it's not funny.
Okay.
And I'm really sorry. What if someone argues that this box was a failed panic room? They locked themselves in there. Something went wrong.
I am sure someone could just say that, yes.
Cool. Yes, but that could just be proof that the heir did this and then took off, and then, like, they really gruesomely murdered their successor.
Their predecessor.
Yes. In order to take the throne.
Yeah.
And move the capital.
Yeah.
Which is every ruler's dream.
Yes.
So much fun with architecture.
Was that ruler named Elysee? Is that the name of the new capital?
The ruler who died or the ruler who survived?
The ruler who survived.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So then maybe they need to actually bring the city up after all.
Yeah.
And they
bring. There's not enough proof.
No, but if they bring the entire city up, the box is going to be there anyway. And in the city, them and their audience are going to be able to see that, hey, there are a lot of indications that there were two rulers.
From a magical and also other perspective. I'm just thinking, if this city has been underwater for a few hundred years, it should be pretty ruined. But through magic, it can be pretty preserved, right? Preserved. I'm thinking, like, if we bring it up and all these buildings that were made of clay and rocks have been worn down by salt water and now they're not standing anymore, no matter how much we drain it, is ruined. But it could also have magically survived in some sort of strange bubble and everything is intact, more or less. For them to actually be able to walk through the streets and open the doors and find the wine cellar, apparently.
Yes.
It's very important. I mean, it's probably pretty well preserved wine.
Sure.
Really well. I don't know wine.
I mean, I'm thinking that it doesn't have to be very well preserved, really.
No.
Like, it doesn't have to be still standing, fully usable houses or buildings.
No.
But I'm thinking, my thought has been that this this city was made out of, like, very sturdy. It was made out of a rock, and maybe not even like here's a brick or something. We're gonna put these onto each other, but rather
it was carved from the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, maybe rulers have, like, used their ground powers and made these houses, in which case they would be much more sturdy than otherwise.
Right.
But that they're still sort of in ruins, but not quite as bad as it could have been.
Mm. Moon's making the point.
Moon, what are you saying? They could, for tension, bring up the box first, think this is proof enough, be like, everyone will believe us, and then when they're challenged, they feel really defeated. Then they have to discover how to work together to raise the entire city. So there's high point, low point, happo, emotionally.
Oh. One of those.
Happo. That's the technical term. Yes.
What if? Because it depends on speed. No, I'm just thinking, if time frame vague here, but they are in Northport, they have done all their trials except the water one, they have found out a bunch of information, and they realized that, okay, we could dive here and probably find something. So they get their audience together, and they head out to the water, and they dive, and they bring out the box. Already at that point, when they're gathering their audience, information should fall in the wrong hands.
Yes.
Someone who doesn't believe them, or someone who overhears and is like, oh, I could make money on this, spreads the information to the guards or something.
Yeah.
And so they dive and they bring up the box, and they don't know they're diving for a box, but that's what they bring up.
Yeah.
And they're like, ta-da, look at what we did. And rumors start. People are talking about this corpse in a box. But there is the doubt that, well, this could be fabricated, or this isn't enough proof, or whatever. And while they're having this hebele that you were talking about, before they dive for the city, lid is taken away. There isn't enough proof for some people, but information has still reached the ruler somehow. And this is a fair bit from the capital, so we need to work that out in that case. Leaving Neum behind. Neum doesn't have the support, really. Which means that either people are going to start heading for the capital to defend Lid and try to help her, and he's on his own again with Teb and Bodhi, or he needs to step up and get the support as well to raise the city. It sounded better in my head.
I mean, he can't really raise the city on his own, though.
No, and Teb can't help.
No.
Teb's a dragon.
Yes.
He can tie a rope around it and then hold on to the rope and then raise the rope up and hold it in place while Neo nails it back into the walls.
Yes.
It's a 2 people job. No, it sounded better in my head.
But I'm thinking that, in a way, why wouldn't they just raise the city? Because
from the start.
Yeah, because like you said, they don't know what the box is.
No, and I think it's a bad idea to try to open the box underwater.
Yeah.
Won't help the thing. The regalia might float away. Like, we can maybe make it easy on them for once. They just have to lift the whole city, you know?
Yeah, but I'm thinking if they lift the city, like even that might not be proof enough for everyone, and like
maybe it's an area known for rock slides, or
and the ruler and the church might be like, I mean, they have a whole propaganda machine that can just tell people that no, this is fake, this didn't happen, or doesn't mean what they say it means. And I think there's already a sort of high point, low point, high point thing. Yes. But for the uninitiated, we can
use their terminology.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have gathered all of this support, or all of this, maybe not support as such, but like
attention.
There are people willing to listen to us.
Yeah.
Hey, we bring up this city. Oh, we find this box. Look at this. There used to be 2 rulers. guards come and take Lid away,
Mhm.
Niam can't keep people interested, or like
Yeah.
they're not gonna follow him if he like if the thing is that he's gonna stay there and like keep telling people and rallying
Yeah.
support and all of that.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be as effective in doing that as Lid is.
No.
And so that's also gonna be a low point where like, okay, but everything is falling apart now. We have all of this, but we can't do anything because we don't have Lid here.
Mhm.
And
How do we turn that back into a high point, though?
Tev can fly.
Yes.
He can get really high.
You're so funny.
Yes.
I like it. See, I was also going to use Ted in that situation.
Uh-huh.
But more so like, you know, hey, we did the thing. Moon made the same joke.
Exactly.
No, but like, yeah, look, we brought up a city. Proof of things. Guards come and take Lid away. And I just envision this whole crowd of people just like dispersing. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like, well, we're done here then. And Niam just standing there like, well, what do I do now? And Ted's like, don't worry, I got this. Shifts into a dragon, blows fire. Attention to me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be an interesting point for them to be separated.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to go from there. But we don't need to know that now. We're
No.
not writing any of this. Yes,
No.
that is the water trial.
Yes.
But we're gonna stop before the water trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. They now meet electricity. Right.
Yes.
That's the new endpoint.
Yes.
Yes.
Um.
So they need to know where to dive.
Yes. Sorry, I just wanna. Because we don't say here. They bring up.
A city. They raise it from a wee little house to a whole big city.
Yes. They raise the entire city and not just the box.
Yeah. Because then it could be a few chapters here of them like diving and then getting the city up and then exploring the city and then finding the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but they need to know where to drive.
Okay. So we need to invent the wheel.
Well, there was a wheel on Ted, wasn't there?
A whale?
A wheel. You
Yes,
said that there was a
Yes,
wheel.
but it sounded like you said wheel.
I-
Whale.
Well. They need to know where to dive.
Yes.
They need to have a hint that there should be two rulers.
Yeah. They need to know how to dive for it to be safe-ish for Niam.
Niam needs to learn how to swim.
Fun. Which also Lid and Tev also probably don't know how to swim. They've never had to swim in human forms.
No, but they probably don't need to.
No, but how do they teach him?
I don't know. Does he actually need to know how to swim? Because he can breathe underwater because he has the air power. But maybe he needs to learn.
Kicking.
Yes. Or at least not panic in the water.
No.
Yes.
Panic in the water. Panic in the disco, panic in the water.
Yeah. And what else?
I don't know if they need to know it. I mean, it is the whole thing of like how to rally people, but that's not part of this.
No. Okay, so then where do they get this information?
I don't know. Probably the archives. the archive, something on a map, something missing on a map that they see from the air, going back to Lyd having the live map when she's flying.
Yeah.
Maybe the little marking symbol thing.
Yeah. So seeing something from something from the air and Lyd understanding that maps aren't everything. Lyd understanding that the land is
more important than the map.
Yes. And maybe a symbol or something that Lyd knows from her.
Question.
The
symbol thing.
Yeah.
Which we don't have to use, but just a thought. Is it a symbol on a map? Is it a symbol on the ground? Or is it a symbol that she sees from the air above the water? Could the probably not, but could the ruler who died, or as a measure ahead of time, maybe they hinted or thought something would happen, make like a protective shield thing that is invisible but bears a symbol that rulers will know one day they will find us, like a flag, but transparent and domed and not like a flag at all.
I don't know. We'll write that down there.
Yeah. I just want to say that we can't keep streaming for a super long time.
No, I know.
Yeah.
They should have a hint that there should be two rulers. This comes from the archive, I think.
Yes. Because that should not be a fairy tale or a legend or anything like that, because that's too easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe a bit of help from fairy tales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was going to say, what is the fairy tale thing? The fairy tale alludes to Shardmare, the legend Shardmare of the person with the shard.
Yes.
Trying to take down the rulers.
Yes.
But none of that is true.
None of it?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, that person was going to be looking for Shardmare.
Okay.
Was going to know that there was a city called Shardmare.
Okay.
But that has then, in the legends, been changed into the shard, the lost shard, which is a weapon.
Okay. So as a person who sometime after what we call Shardmare, which probably isn't the name of the city, sank.
Isn't it?
Okay, fine, it is. Someone after Shardmare sank that figured out parts of the clues and went looking for the city.
Yes.
But failed.
Yes.
And had a weapon.
Maybe.
Is alluded to have had a weapon.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to read the legend because I don't quite understand what the legend is, but
I'll show you what I have, and then yeah.
Okay.
And Ian needs to learn how to swim. That can't be helped from archives or legends. He's just gonna have to be tossed into the water.
Hope for the best. What?
No, now I'm just like, if he's like, because he doesn't like water. He's scared of the
Tev
water.
just airdrops him?
Sort of. He's flying on Tev over the water, and then all of a sudden Tev shifts from dragon to sparrow, and then
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, you could at least like switch into a dolphin or something nicer. So Tev has something to hold on to.
Maybe.
Depends on how he's feeling on that day.
Yes. Yeah, but yeah.
So see something through the air, maybe a symbol that she recognizes. Find things in archives and fairy tales, which is more his territory.
Yeah.
And then the swimming is just has to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so the question is, these two remaining questions, do we need to take those now, or do we actually stop here?
I kind of want to say one thing about the bottom one.
Uh-huh.
How do you tell an animal and a shapeshifter in their animal form apart?
Do you?
No, and that's what I'm a little concerned about.
Why?
How do you know you're not eating a shapeshifter?
I mean,
And also, do the shapeshifters eat meat?
I imagine the shapeshifters would.
Is it you, Steve? Bruce? No? Okay, good.
I imagine the shapeshifters would either know they just have a like. I can tell that this is
I mean, they can communicate telepathically without shapeshifters.
Yeah, that was gonna be my second. Like they ask first.
Yeah.
Or they can just tell that, hey, this animal doesn't behave like an animal. It behaves more intelligently. So this is a shapeshifter. Maybe a little bit of both of those.
Yeah. Because I feel like on the mainland, I think they're probably safe to not eat. They, being Tevin, later early on, safe to like, okay, we hunted this rabbit. This rabbit is a rabbit. It's not a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
But I've considered like, oh, let's have a feast for my mom's birthday. Here's some, beef. Where is Steve? That's disgusting.
That is disgusting.
And I don't like it. And I want there to be very clear, very obvious for them. And also shapeshifters on the mainland have never also gotten eaten. Have also never gotten eaten. They could also be vegetarian. I consider that too.
Yeah.
But then Lyd has even less choices when she's on the mainland for what to eat. Fewer choices.
I mean, the thing is, vegetarian diet, like the amount of meat that we eat is way, way more than what we used to eat historically.
Yeah.
Historically, we did eat more vegetables. Vegetarian meals were the norm.
Yeah. I'm just more thinking like when she's out in the woods trying to find something to eat, setting a trap might be easier than finding enough berries to get full when she has nothing.
I mean, there are berries, there are mushrooms, there are roots, there are
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, but basically, shapeshifters can tell apart. No one eats the neighbors.
Yeah,
good. No, because I was like, I don't know if I wrote that or if I just almost wrote it, but someone in the archipelago, a shapeshifter, I almost wrote, or I did write that someone was a farmer, like with, I don't know if it was they had chickens or they had sheep or whatever they had, but like they are raising cattle sort of thing. And I was like, that's a little bit weird that sometimes you can be cattle and sometimes you can raise cattle. I'm not sure if that person could be a cow, but you get what I mean.
Yes.
It felt weird.
I mean, maybe to us, maybe it wouldn't be weird to them. Like raising cattle might be a lot easier if you could also be cattle. Yeah. And like, I can be one of you. Here, follow me.
Yeah.
Into the butcher shop.
You want to rephrase that again?
No.
No, okay. Or she knows how to snare and catch animals alive, so she can make sure they're not shapeshifters before she actually kills them. Fair point.
Could also be that as a shapeshifter, she can hunt. Like she has a form where she can be a hunter, and then she can just like, okay, I'm gonna catch that squirrel. First, gonna call out, hey, you squirrel, are you a person? Otherwise I'm gonna kill you.
Yes. Yeah. I'll solve it. It's fine. But it was something that occurred to me a while ago, and I was like, ooh, that could go very, very bad.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say I have in Rug I have shapeshifters, and there I have just made it so that the shapeshifter knows if an animal is an animal or a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
It's not a question.
And they know that even in their humanoid forms.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's a non-issue. I just wanted to make it an issue temporarily to gross Moon out, and then
Cool.
yeah, cats are ambush predators. They would never warn their prey. No, but I'm thinking if
it's telepathic,
exactly.
I'm
if
just
Lid in her
thinking
cat
at
form
you.
is like, are you this is telepathically, are you a shapeshifter? And she gets no reply. The telepathic thoughts haven't reached the squirrel that is not a shapeshifter.
No.
Therefore, she can ambush it.
Yeah.
Exactly, Moon. Yeah. Cool. Good. I just wanted to. Yeah. So a run through what we've done today, then.
Mm-hmm.
Liam gets to keep his people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lid has all the other people, so
Yeah, exactly.
he can have those at least.
Exactly. She doesn't meet the same people. Sandy is a non-issue. Because it's the reason why I talk about human form. We figured out your Liam's ground trial.
Yeah.
You happy with it?
I think so. Yeah.
We figured out a lot for Shardmare, which is not for this draft. Or yes, but for this first deadline. And shapeshifters don't eat each other.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay then. And we haven't decided on anything that we should go back and change. Really?
No. Well, I should change because I've already written a version of Liam's ground trial, so I need to write that again. But
right, and I need to change the glass thing that I mentioned in my stream or my video.
Yeah.
Change glass thing, and then also unname Sandy and change the thing. I know what thing it is.
I'm glad.
Yes, and everyone, absolutely everyone, can read that. Wait, where is it? Oh, so it's gotta be strong enough to show up. So, where is it? Yes. No.
Everyone can read that, yes.
That says thing.
Of course it does.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm also glad that no one put Steve.
Yes. Or Bob.
Yes.
Which is a cardboard castle. So, yeah. But
okay.
That's a lot of solving today.
Yeah. And then our next stream is going to be December 18th.
Yes.
Not December 25th.
No. We didn't think you guys wanted to hang out with us then.
No.
We're not that self-centered. Yeah, so there will be update videos on the 15th of December.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. I have worse proof.
Yes. Moon will be a little busy on the 25th.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, next stream is on the 18th, by which point we are probably hoping to be done with the first half of the book.
The intention is to have written to the electricity trial / where they meet.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about what the next step is.
Yeah.
Do you feel confident that you're gonna be done with the rewrite before the 18th?
I think so. I would like to be done on Tuesday, by which I mean I would like to be done tomorrow, and that seems unlikely. No, but I think I should be able to be done. If I just keep it up, I'm halfway through-ish.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of words, granted, but I think I can,
There's a chance.
There's a chance, although it's taken me more than a month to write this half, and I have 3 weeks. I have 2 weeks to write the second half, because our deadline is the 12th.
I mean, technically our deadline is the 18th.
Yeah. 2 to 3 weeks. I'll make it work. It's fine.
Cool.
We have a writing day planned tomorrow.
Yes.
And we're hoping to write in between me doing laundry tonight.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you think you will be done?
I also like do you feel confident? I think so. Very confident.
Yeah.
I am not super confident, but I'm also about halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm on page 43 out of 90. Where did my cursor go? There it is. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So also about halfway. Gonna be writing a lot tonight. Gonna be writing a lot tomorrow. Also gonna be writing a lot on Monday.
Yeah.
Wasn't actually planning on having dual rule days all of those days. Technically, it's just today.
Yeah.
But this has a deadline. Arc and Rug don't. So
Yeah. Might be good to switch up the schedule a bit.
yeah. So I think I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also don't have class next weekend, do we?
No.
So we can turn that into writing weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay
Cool.
then. But I think that's all that is all we wanted to discuss today. And then we've added, we should move the symbol thing.
Yeah.
I'll bold it for now so it stands out.
Yeah.
We should move that. But do you guys have any questions for us? Anything we've forgotten, skimmed over? Anything you like?
Do you like anything? Yes. Moon is very excited. I am
Good.
also very excited.
Good.
I'm actually really excited.
Yeah.
This is so. I really, really like this story.
Yeah.
I think this story is going to be so good when it's done.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better about it now in the second draft.
Yeah.
I feel like mine, I can only speak for myself, but it looks better. It sounds better. I'm really happy with some changes I've made. I've also written a few things that I think already now. I'm like, no, that can just go. That's unimportant. That should change.
No.
But it's only a second draft.
Yeah.
I'm expecting us to have at least another draft of it.
At the very least, yes.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay then.
Yes.
Well, thank you everyone who has been here.
Yes.
Especially Moon and Avi, who has been here most of the time. Avi left, but that's fine.
Still thank you.
And Moon has been distracted, which is also perfectly fine.
Yes.
But yes.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be really interesting too. Really fun.
Yeah.
I'm
looking forward to that.
Also, just a quick side note, Moon, I'm gonna send you a message on Discord as soon as we wrap this up, just so you know what's coming. I need to talk to you about something.
We need to talk.
No, I didn't say it like that.
No.
But yeah, no, big thank you for the help, everyone.
Yes.
We are very glad that you're willing to do this with us.
Yes.
It helped a lot and it makes it a lot more fun.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So again, streaming again on the 18th on Matilda's channel.
Yep.
And also, of course, streaming our normal Thursday streams and hopefully putting up some videos.
Oh yeah,
on occasion.
That's our thing. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
Yes, you will.
Cool. Thank you for today. See you later. And yeah, be safe. Have fun. Be good. I hope your kid gets better.
Yeah, soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.